Welcome
Welcome
to
to
the
the
Empress and the
Empress and the
Fool.
Fool.
I'm Sarah Ditmore.
And I'm Kaitlyn Gulock, and we're here to discuss all things magical and mystic from the perspective of two curious witches.
This is our bi-weekly Tarot Time episode where we review our favorite decks and discuss the ethics and methodology of reading tarot for yourself and for others. Yay!
Okay, I'm so excited today. I want to start because Sarah and I have not been able to coordinate because life stuff
Life is
has been
lifin'.
life is life in, and both of us have been really busy. So this is like the first time I've talked to you, I think, in like 2 weeks, and it's
Yeah.
far too long, and I don't like it. Let's not do that again.
Never
Thanks.
again. Which is funny because before we started this podcast, we talked like twice a year.
hmm Well, and I think like now it's the I've had a I'm getting used to and like I've had a taste of, oh, I get Sarah in my life like so
Yes.
much more often. And then I'm like, huh? Oh,
Where'd you
where is
go?
she? Where'd you go?
I know. Well,
I've wanted to call you like multiple times, but also my life has been just a little chaotic. So I was like,
yeah.
it's gonna end up being like a 3 hour conversation, which,
Which is why we have a podcast, because we're really bad at calling
yeah,
each other otherwise.
yeah.
Well, before we dive into today's deck review, I need to tell you, I
Tell
think
me
I
things.
have a like poltergeist or some shit in my house.
Tell me more.
So we just got home from camping and everything was normal when I left. And so I don't know what happened while I was gone, but I came back and like within the past 2 days, things just keep falling and breaking. Like, so yesterday I was like vacuuming and I like vacuumed and kind of like tapped my closet door on accident. And I've done that before. It happens all the time. It's one of those like
Yeah.
accordion closet doors, and the whole door
Mhm.
just falls off from like a gentle tap. The whole thing just crumbles to the ground.
Me.
And then I'm done vacuuming and I'm putting away my clothing in the closet, and I go to hang up a shirt and the entire pole in the closet just falls. And then I'm like,
What?
okay, my closet's broken, whatever. So then today I had a client, and we were like going into the room to do the reading, and there's a bathroom right next to us that my cat uses, like that's where his litter box is. And
Mhm.
as we're going to sit down, that door just slams closed in the bathroom. And like the windows are open, and I was like, oh, it's the wind, but also those windows are always open, and this has never happened before. And
What
the
the
door
heck?
just slams closed, so then I prop it open so that the cat can use the litter box. I go in to sit down with my client, and he's like sitting there, and all of a sudden his backpack just falls over out of nowhere. And so it's all things that like are like could just happen, right? Like there was nothing, like I've had witchy experiences like when we do our ghost stories episode over Halloween that I'll share that are like there is no
Ugh.
mundane explanation. This was a ghost. These
Yes.
experiences, I'm like, could be normal. Could be normal. But it's just the fact that they all keep stacking that I'm like, and then I'm pulling cards for my client, and these two cards pop out, and every once in a while I'll have cards pop out and I'll hear or feel like these are for you, like for me to read later, like these are just little cards for me to put aside and look at later for myself. So I get these two cards, I put them aside, I finish the reading, the client leaves. I pick up the two cards, and it's protect and ceremony. And I was like,
Ew.
so I need to up
Ew.
my like protections, like I need to do like redo my protection spells, and they're like, mm-hmm. And I'm like, cool, cool, cool. So fun. So if like our computer explodes while we're recording today, I'm sorry.
Or the camera falls,
Yeah,
or the
exactly.
recording stops. Yeah.
And like
So, okay, so
as I
good.
was like prepping the room for my client, like every time I turned, I would like knock my head into something or like make a candle fall over. Like things were just constantly like fall. It was like very trickster energy. Like it doesn't feel like someone's like out to get me, but it feels like there's
Right.
someone who's just like, go make this fall, gonna make that fall, go make you hit your head, go slam a door. Like I'm like,
Is it
shut
a
the fuck
cat?
up. Yeah, right.
Is it a ghost of a cat or something?
Did
Because that is
Hector
very
summon
like
a cat
feline
ghost while I
behavior.
was gone?
Ooh, does Hector have a ghost lover? that's hanging out.
Ooh.
Ooh, I like this lore.
Yeah, I do too. So I'm gonna do a little magical protection spell later this weekend because apparently there's something in here that has shit to say. But
And I don't want to hear
I don't want
it.
to hear it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. But yeah, so I'm being haunted by a little bit of a troublemaker.
That's actually kind of cute though.
I know. It feels very innocent. It feels like it's funny like I feel like sometimes when I talk about like ghosts and stuff around like new clients or people who are kind of new to this world, they're like, "Oh my God, that's so scary." And I'm like, "Oh no, this one's chill. Like this isn't a big deal. I can handle this."
I actually I've been wanting to send this to you on the note of like ghosts.
Hmm.
I've been wanting to send you this account and I can't remember it. I'll see if I can pull it up. But there is this woman and I think she's in the UK. And she does get ready with me with like an EMF reader.
Oh my God.
Have you seen this lady?
No. No, because I'm not on social media anymore.
Okay, so it's this lady who what's her name? So it's with like a talk box and an EMF reader. So she
Oh
has
my
like the little
God.
stand. So so basically for people who don't know, I think it's like the EMF, I think it's like electromagnetic field
Yeah.
reader. So it's like what ghost hunters use and it's like this little like almost like a Geiger counter, like the radiation monitor,
Hmm.
and it like starts beeping when there's like electromagnetic changes around.
Yeah, and the idea
And
is if there's no like house like explanation for it, like if you've checked the house and there's
Mhm.
no like wires or whatever or equipment, and then it's like, oh, there maybe is a ghost here, especially if it like moves and shifts, then it implies that
Yeah.
like something is moving through the space is the, I think, general concept or idea.
Yeah, so there's this lady. Oh my gosh, I can't find. Oh, I found her.
Hmm.
Okay. She does get ready with me videos where she will sit and just like put makeup on or get ready
Okay,
or
yeah.
whatever, and she'll have it going and she'll be like, "Who's around today?" And they'll be like, "Hello." Behind, like above or whatever. And it's like this very mechanical, like AI kind of voice
Yeah,
because
yeah.
the talk box just says different like short phrases. And her name is Watts Life. So she's
Okay.
on TikTok and Instagram. It's WATTSLIFEE. And she just like sits and gets ready and talks to the ghost like so
Oh,
casually. And they'll say like kind of scary things and she's like, "Don't do that to me today. I'm not interested." Like,
I don't know if I've shared it on this podcast, but I used to clean the local bookstore out here, and there was like a ghost that like is not chill who lived in the basement. Um,
I love
and
that.
anytime I would go down there, because I'd be like 6 a.m. in the morning, I'm the only one there. It's still dark out because it's winter, and I would literally walk down and just say, "I'm not dealing with this today, okay?" And then I would clean the bookstore and just like ignore the ghost in my head and be like, I'm pretending you're not here today. We're not talking." And then I would clean the bookstore and leave because it's like, I'm not being paid to exercise this building. Like, I'm
No,
getting paid
no,
20 bucks an
ma'am.
hour. That's not enough money to deal with this ghost.
Oh my God. But definitely check out her video. I'll send you a couple that have like really cracked me
Yeah,
up. And
please do.
it's just so funny. I think like when you start getting into this world and realizing like, I don't know if you want to like, if you believe in it,
Yeah,
it makes it more real. And if you
yeah,
don't, you don't. And people still have crazy experiences. But like, it's just so funny, like seeing this lady just talk about it so casually, or like they'll say something like, "I'm behind you," or like, "Danger." And she's like, "Who's in danger? Like, what? Me?
Who, me?
Don't do that to me. I'm not interested in being in danger today." Like, and it's so funny, like the way that you talk to these
Yeah,
whatever it is, you're like, "Oh, please, not today, not
not
today." And
today.
it just makes it way less scary, and she's
Yeah.
hilarious. So go check her
Oh,
out.
oh my God,
But
I
yeah,
love
we
that.
will be doing a ghost story episode
Yes.
later in the year during spooky season. So if you guys have any ghost stories that you want to share or you want us to share, start sending them in because we will definitely want to be sharing them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sarahjitmore.com/podcast. Link is in the show notes to submit your best ghost stories.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm
I'm
excited
so
for that
excited for that
episode.
one.
In the
So I think Sarah,
meantime,
yeah, I think Sarah and I are going to do our own episode of our own ghost stories because I think both of us have a couple at
yeah,
least. And then we'll do like, I think we're thinking about doing like a listener or a friend episode where we have other people in our lives who are
yeah.
going to be sharing. So please do. But yeah, before that,
In the meantime, today's
yeah.
episode is all about the Green Witch Oracle.
I'm
Um,
so excited.
Me too. So this was a 30th birthday gift from my friend Tanya. And it's a great Oracle deck. It's by Cheralyn Darcey, which I was looking her up today, and she's now just like a radio host who has nothing about this Oracle deck anywhere on her website. Um, she created it like only 4 years ago. So I'm like, did you just like create this and be like, yeah, I got other stuff to do?
We love a multi-talented
Yeah,
artist.
right?
Yep.
So if you Google Greenwich Oracle, the only thing I'll say is that make sure, for context, the one I'm talking about today is like a beige background with just like green symbols on it. There's a different one called the Green Witches Oracle, like apostrophe S, that has like plants all over the cover. I've heard it's also great, but it's not the one we're talking about today.
Forget that one.
Yeah, that's for another day. Maybe I'll buy it and we'll do a compare and contrast. But today we're talking about the Green Witch Oracle by Cheralyn Darcey. And I love this deck.
Love.
It's like the box is pretty, sturdy.
Love.
It's like one of those good Oracle decks that's like the really thick cardboard.
Yes, it reminds me of the one that we did for the Witch's Oracle.
Yes, similar size too, like the
Yeah,
larger Oracle deck size that's kind of like a large rectangle. And the
love.
aesthetic is very like I kind of think of it as like that burnt parchment, like old paper look.
Parchment is the word that I keep on thinking about.
Right? And then it's like kind of chaotic. It's got like black speckle all over it and like little stars and symbols in the background. And then has little green symbols on top of it. There's like yarrow, a little potion, and a little cauldron, and then the four like elemental symbols with like the triangles with the stripes through them.
Yeah, I love it. It's very cute.
Yeah.
It's got little like ink splatter on it too, which is kind of like,
Yeah. Oh, that's what
it's
that.
very cool.
I literally never realized that's what that was supposed to be. I was just like, it's got black dots. I don't know why. It's just aesthetic, but you're totally right. It's meant to look like, I think, like a botanical journal, like old
Yes.
parchment with like the ink splatter. I love that. Um, so it opens like it has those little cutouts and it opens.
Cute.
And yeah, this is the sides. Each side has a different one of the elemental symbols on it, which I love.
Love that. And like little like arrow, yeah, little like arrow motif, like a little decorative
Yeah.
pointing to the different symbols.
Yeah.
Oh, it literally just looks like it just reminds me of like a witch's journal.
Definitely. It is
Yeah.
very like it just feels very like yeah, like Book of Shadows-y, but like for a green
Mhm.
witch, right? Like very
Yeah.
naturey. Everything fits really well. Like the box is very snug but easy to open. The cards and the booklet like fully fill it up. There's not like a lot of wiggle room.
Okay. I
But
like
they
that.
they pop out easily. Uh and yeah.
I like that the inside lined with like green stars. Is that?
It's like stars and leaves on the inside. It's like green
Oh,
with like white stars and
cute.
leaves on it. It's a nice little end paper.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh.
And that's on the bottom, and on the top is just a star.
Oh, a single star. Okay. I like it.
Mhm.
I like it.
And
It's like
then
reminds me a lot of the botanical tarot deck that I have.
it is. It's definitely, I like this deck a lot. Like it is, as we get into the art, it's less intricate or artistic as your botanical deck. It's much
Hmm.
simpler.
Hmm.
But I find that it's really good for like I will do readings where I'll be like, what is a good plant ally to work with? And it'll give you like a plant.
Plant ally.
Yeah.
I like that.
So like what's a good plant friend to support you through this or like, what plant can I use in this ritual or this spell? Like it's really good. I find, we'll talk about this more when we get into like the intuitability, but I find that each card has a plant and then a word associated with that plant.
Okay.
And I don't find that it like always the words are always super usable without the context of the plant. Like it always feels like it's talking about like how to use this plant and not just like,
Okay.
a message on its own of the word. Like the plant is a very like crucial part of the deck.
Okay.
But we'll talk about more of that when we actually look at the cards.
Yay.
So these are the cards.
Oh, it's like a gorgeous. So we're looking at the back of the cards right now, and it's this like really gorgeous emerald green, kind of with like speckles on it a little bit. It like
Yeah.
very, I feel like the cards feel very like lived in,
Yes,
you
totally. Like
know?
it's got kind of a white, like crinkly, speckly background within the green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then with like the elements kind of in this like handwriting, like hand
Yeah.
drawing, um, kind of artistic style with the elements stacked on top of each other.
Yeah, almost like calligraphy, but with white ink. And I think,
Yeah.
if I'm correct, it's like the triangle with the line through it facing down is earth. The
Yeah.
triangle with no line is water. The
Yeah.
triangle facing up with no line is fire.
Yeah.
And the triangle facing up with a line is air.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I always remember it because it's I feel like the lines indicate to me kind of like a much more like immutable, like something that's a little bit more like stable.
Ooh, I
So
like
if you're trying to
that.
remember, the fire and water are definitely the more like loosey-goosey ones, so they don't have the line
Yeah.
in it. And the earth is
Yeah.
much more like grounded, so we got a line. Air is much more like firm,
Yeah.
so we got a line in that one too.
I
So
love
yeah, that's
that.
how always how I remember it. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
clever. Cool.
Yeah. How
So,
many cards are in this deck, by the way?
uh,
Oh, is that the ghost?
it's the ghost. I almost dropped the mic. It's the ghost. Let's see, does it say 44 cards? So a very
Okay.
small, not like crazy deck, which I feel like is nice because I feel like with cards this big, if you have a ton of them, it becomes just like a monster to shuffle. And so these are
Yeah.
like manageable. Because they are very big, like they are the size of my hand, like with it going into fingers. Like they're hefty cards.
Yeah, they're chunky.
They're big guys.
And
Um,
then what about the stock of the card? I'm just
Yeah,
curious.
so the card itself, I mean, the one thing I'll say is I have an obsession with matte and they're very glossy. So that bothers me a
Yes.
little bit. They've got like that kind of like sticky, photo-y finish that I'm not a huge fan of.
I know. I feel the same.
And like, yeah, they catch the light and stuff, but they're actually not like they're not nothing, but they're pretty flimsy. Like I could fold it in half. They're
Okay.
pretty light cards. The actual cards themselves, like the even the art, like I find that these cards, I took me a while to start using them regularly because I was like,
Hmm.
I didn't love how busy the artwork was. I didn't love how flimsy the cards were. I didn't love that they were glossy, but the actual reading with them, I do enjoy. So I've come around to them, but it's taken some time.
Interesting. Yeah, those usually like have to align really well. Like I feel like the cards that I really like the like feel of, like the tactile feel of, and I
Hmm.
feel like maybe it's kind of like the less accessible part of these tarot time when we're talking about like all these little details, but for
Yeah,
us, I think it really matters in
it
being able to
totally
connect.
does.
Right? Like, is it glossy? Is it matte? Is it a thicker stock? Is it a thinner
Yeah.
stock? Like, how shuffleable is it? And I feel like, yeah,
Yeah.
especially with the glossiness and the thinness, it might be easier to shuffle.
They
But
are very easy to shuffle. I will say, as someone who reads in markets a lot, I have learned that the glossier cards tend to stick together when it's hot. Um,
yes.
but when I'm inside, they like slide off of each other really nicely because
Oh,
there's no
nice.
like
Okay.
linen or paper aspect to like catch, they're very smooth because of the gloss. Um,
Love.
and because they're thinner, they're pretty easy to shuffle, and I can shuffle them like the stacking and cutting the deck way, and then I can also
Mhm.
shuffle them the like
The casino
cutting
style?
casino style,
Yes.
doing the bridge. They do pretty good job with that without like getting bent, which is nice. So I do
I
appreciate
like.
that. They are very easy to shuffle. And because they have that like kind of slidey, glossy bit, you can have a few of those like pop out cards, which is always fun when you're reading for someone.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so shuffle ability is good. The feel is okay. Not my personal preference, but nothing like absolutely wrong with it, you know?
Right.
They are a little bit big. Like I am a tall person with long fingers, so it's easy for me to shuffle, but I could see how like that would be a lot harder if you had a different hand shape than me.
Right.
Okay, so now for the actual cards themselves. Da, da, da. So each card has a plant on it, and what I think is my favorite thing about this deck is that the plants are like it's the Green Witch Oracle, right? And so the Green Witch is
Hmm.
like you're thinking like not just big wild like herbs, but also like a garden and a kitchen. And so some of the plants are like banana
And with a like caduceus symbol on it too. That's
and
so
like
interesting.
onion. Yeah, so they all have symbols on them in the background. So they all have the main foreground is like the plant, and it's in kind of a watercolor style, but a very like realist watercolor depiction, like still life.
It's
Um,
very sketchbook. It's very like someone's yeah, like it has like little drawings on it. And then the actual image of the plant or what I'm looking at is a banana right now
yeah.
is like in very like hyper realistic
And
where
it's kind
everything
of
else is doodly.
exactly, and it's kind of like you said, where it's like it does make me think of like a botanical journal or a witch's journal, where it's got like the parchment ink stained
Mm-hmm.
background, and then it's got like the very authentic depiction of the plant like you would see in like a botanical recreation like artwork. And then it's got little like symbols and notes in the background. So this one, they all have the elemental symbol. So this one is water. And then often, though not on this one actually, I'll show you the next one has it. So onion has it. They'll often have the astrological symbol. Um,
Oh, very cool.
so
Okay.
this one doesn't
Hey, and you
have,
picked Aries.
yeah, which is funny that it's also associated with Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Onions are very earthy to me.
Yeah, I don't know why it's in Aries. I don't know enough about plant magic. But yeah, so this one has like leaves in the background. What did you call this? I think of it like as the medical symbol, but
Yeah, so it's a caduceus.
oh.
Which is yeah, so this I think it's a caduceus is usually with the wings. The rod of Asclepius is the one that you're looking at too. So I think both of those get they're associated with medicine.
Yeah, it's got like the two
Um
snakes twirling around the rod with the wings at top.
yeah, so I think caduceus is with the wings. The rod of Asclepius is also medically associated. But
Cool.
it's also associated with Hermes, the messenger god,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it has like little leaves and stars in the background. So like you mentioned, it has like a lot of doodles in the background, but then the main image takes up most of the card and is very realistic. And then it has a single word, and then under the word it has the English name of the plant, and then in parentheses the Latin name of the plant. So the one for banana is duality, and then under it it says banana, and then in parentheses Musa acuminata.
I'm very curious as to why banana is duality.
Let's find out. So, I find like the guidebook. Oh my goodness, I flipped right to it. So
Wow.
the
Hey,
guidebook is by number and each card is numbered. The numbers don't seem to be relevant. It's just a like indexing system, right? So it's like
I see.
number
Okay.
27 is banana, so it's not alphabetical. Um, and it's got the picture of the card in the corner, which I appreciate. We always love when they have a picture of the card. It
I
just to me is a
love
necessity at this point.
because if I'm looking at just like raw text, I just my brain just sees it all as like one big barcode.
Yes, yes. I will say
Yeah,
that's
we're like, ugh.
like this is very well just like from a glance formatted. Like,
Oh, cute.
yeah,
Okay. So
very
it's the
easy.
it's one card is on both pages, like when you open it.
Yeah,
It's
it's a
on the like
two-page
left and
spread
right.
for each card.
And it has the image of the card, but it also looks like it has like like different sections with
Hmm.
one section that's highlighted with a spell. So I'm really
Yes.
curious.
So each card has a two-page spread and it has a quote, and then it has the oracle meaning, cultivation, magical correspondences, and a spell.
Okay. I'm curious about what those sections mean.
Yeah, let's find out.
Let's do it.
So the quote is, gardening is civil and social, but it wants the vigor and freedom of the forest and the outlaw by Henry David Thoreau. So that
I've never
duality
heard
of
that
like the
before. That's amazing.
cultivated garden and the wild.
Very cool.
Oracle meaning. It's time to look at the shadow and the light in conjunction with each other. Each is as strong as the other, and both have positive qualities and learning points for you. The answer to any question is maybe. And perhaps moving away a little will allow a
What?
better view as bananas ask you to stand back and look at the horizon. Do not give in to any situation that does not align with you at present.
Okay.
So this is what I mean by I often find that it's more about what plant to work with than the word. Because I'm like, I don't know, man.
It's giving chariot vibes.
It's it's like her description, I don't understand how it's related to banana. I don't understand really how it's related to the word duality. I don't I don't like even think it was that like it almost gives me like psychic, like pseudo psychic vibes where they just say things vague enough that you're like, oh yeah, totally. And you're like,
Yes.
when you actually think about it, you're like, did that actually just say anything?
Yeah, I don't know how much I like got from that. And the banana, yeah, you're right. The banana is really hard to cut. I think I'm a little confused.
Yeah, I will have to look at some others and see. But that's the one aspect of this deck that I haven't resonated with deeply is like the
Mhm.
descriptions and the like word associated with it.
I see.
Oh, and then they have the cultivation section is literally about how to take care of the plant. So
I was
considered
wondering.
considered to be a perennial herb as they don't form a woody stem as a tree does, bananas are grown from suckers taken from other banana plants. Plant these at any time in tropical, subtropical, and temperate areas that do not drop below 15 degrees Celsius. And then it goes on to talk about like what kind of light and water they need and how to harvest them.
I appreciate that that's like really oddly practical.
Yeah, yeah. Like if you are going to be a green witch and you want to work with this plant, you can learn how to take care of it.
And I have to think like bananas are probably the least accessible gardening.
Yes, there are definitely others in here like onions and basil that are much more accessible.
Yes.
Then the magical
Goodness.
correspondences, so it has uses, deities, celestial, and astrological.
Yeah,
Um,
what's the banana deity? It's just who's the
so
banana god?
its uses are, and so this is again, where the fuck are you getting duality from? Because the magical correspondences are potency, prosperity, fertility, marriage, and ambition. The deities are Venus, Kanaloa, and Lakshmi. Celestial is
Okay.
Venus, and astrological sign is Cancer. So I'm not sure where this concept of duality came from. I
Because
just
all of those, yeah, all of those gods, I mean, there's like a couple that you mentioned in there that I'm like not familiar with, but like Cancer and Venus is very like loving. I get the prosperity,
yes.
fertility, like I mean, bananas like grow in kind of like this like lush,
Yeah.
very specific, like warm, very like fertile kind of
Yes. And
idea.
there's like many from one stem, and it's like,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
And
I
it's
don't
very
know.
nourishing. I don't
Like
know. The
some
idea
of
of
them make
duality
a lot of
is
sense with me. Like lemon is cleansing and grapes are
I want
abundance. Like
I was gonna ask about lemon because it's my favorite fruits.
I use lemon a lot for cleansing, and so that makes sense to
Yeah.
me. And like grape as abundance makes sense to me, but then it also has like strawberries for agreement. And
Huh?
So I do feel like I don't fully like, when we'll get to the magic level, but like at first pass, I'm like, it feels like the person, and if you like research the person who made this, they have like a garden pot, like a radio show and blog about like plants and gardening. And so I think they really understand that side well. I don't think they're
Okay.
necessarily the like most tapped in witchy vibes that I get from this deck.
Okay. So wait, I'm curious. There's another section on there.
Yes, the spell.
Y yes. And then I definitely am curious about some of the other.
Yeah, we'll flip through some of
The
them.
agreement of strawberries. Sorry, I'm like really confused. I don't want to sound like I'm shitting on this
No,
deck.
but that is what a deck review is. We have to be honest about our opinions. And I like this deck for certain uses, and I do find that the
Yes.
words don't always resonate with me, where I'm like, let's just ignore the word and talk about the plant.
See, I'm really I love this because I feel like all of the ones that we like front loaded with for tarot time are ones that we like use a lot, we love a lot, we like really resonate with. And this
Yeah.
is kind of I feel like the first one where I'm like, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Like I feel like so far it's all been this is my favorite go-to deck, and now we're finally like, this is one that I've struggled with a little bit.
I mean, even the one that I struggled with, you're like, I love it.
I want
It's
it. Give it
mine.
to me.
Yeah, this is and I'm like, oh yeah, this was meant
I
for
love it.
Sarah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one
Okay,
I'm like, you
so
don't have to gift this one to me. I think I'm not really sure what to do with it.
I'm sorry, I got distracted reading the spell and it's fascinating. Okay.
Okay, let's go.
So this is your duality spell. Perform this art project to explore the shadow and light. Peel a
Okay.
banana and eat it while focusing on the challenge or situation you would like to explore. Then take photos of the inside of one of the banana peels and ink it with an ink pad and press onto heavy white paper. Note the difference between the two images, looking for and interpreting any patterns and symbols.
What?
I'm gonna go back to I feel like this person knows a lot more about gardening than they do about magic.
I just don't. Is this like a at home Rorschach test?
Right? It seems like it's like divination. And so again, it's like, what is the goal here? How does it have to do with duality? Like there's all this like, oh, you're exploring light and shadow, and it's like the concept of what you're getting at with duality feels so surface level. Like it doesn't really dive into what that means. And then it's like ink onto white paper and look for symbols. And I'm like, well, that's divination, not duality. Like,
Right.
what?
And then take a picture of it too and
And then
compare
it's
the
not
two.
clear what the picture has to do with anything.
I think it's comparing the picture of the banana skin to the print of the banana peel. Like, I think
What
it's
the
an
difference is
interesting.
between the two. So it's like the two sides of the situation, maybe? Like it feels not, this is what I mean. It doesn't feel fleshed out enough. I'm like, is it like the photo represents like one path and the ink represents another, and you're looking for like symbols and eat like I need more here. The depth is not quite there for me.
Is it a spot the banana
Spot the
differences game
differences.
for children? I I feel like I could understand what they're trying to do. Like
Yes.
I'm almost on
It's
board.
almost there. That's how the words and the concepts feel like it's almost there. But I feel like you know how some decks it's like the art is by one person and the booklet is by another? I
Yes.
feel like this book would have benefited from that. This deck, where it's like
You
this
know,
person had a great concept, but to have someone else kind of really channel like the meaning of this plant and how to work with it, I think would have been helpful.
I feel like duality almost like works better with like a coconut than it
Yeah,
does with the
yeah.
banana. Like, and it's
Or
still
like a
even then I'm kind of
blackberry where it's really
or
sweet, but you have to have all the brambles and thorns to get to
that's a great
it. Like,
one.
yeah. All
Mm.
right, shall we pull some, look at some others?
I really would love to see. I know I think the lemon one I'm curious about,
Yeah.
but I feel like I already kind of know what it's gonna be, and then I want you to pick another one that we
Okay.
can like
And then I did
just
notice as
look
we were
at a little.
talking about this with the booklet, there were a few other things I wanted to show you. One of the things I do appreciate about the booklet is that it's got a full index, so you c- or yeah, so you can
Ooh,
find the page that each card is on.
love that.
And then in the introduction is just one page. we love.
I love a succinct introduction.
How to use this cards and guidebook, a page and a half. Very
Okay.
succinct. There are three card spreads: the Garden Shed, the Garden of Magic, and the Garden Year spread. Which is really cute,
Okay.
actually. Like the Garden Shed, it's like the shovel, the deepest part that needs to come to light. The hoe,
Oh.
something that requires turning over and thinking about. The pest control, possible ways to rid yourself of the problem. Like, that's
Wait,
really
that's really
cute.
cute. That's adorable.
And
That's
like,
very well done.
yes, that's really cute. And like the year is spring, summer, winter, fall. And then like the Garden of Magic is the garden bed, the plants, the storm, and the harvest.
Oh, I like that.
I like the spreads a lot.
That's very well thought out. I think that's very cute. That's like a very, and I think it really aligns. It doesn't even just feel gimmicky. Like
Yeah.
it feels like it's an actual, like, I mean, it's adorable, but I
Yeah.
think it's actually really helpful. And when we talked about our tarot spread idea, which is an episode we've done
Yeah.
previously, um, that's like a really cute way to organize those thoughts. And it
Yeah.
really does align with that kind of like green witch, more nature witch
Yeah.
connected,
I
garden
kind of
witch.
want to like play with a spread in that way of like, like the witch's bench or like the witch's box or something and do like one for like
Yeah.
my divination, one for my manifestation, like different cards for
Yes.
different purposes. I think that's a really fun idea.
That's adorable.
And then the actual sections are split up by the elements. So you have all earth is all the vegetables,
Okay.
fire is all the herbs.
Okay. I love that.
Water is all the fruits,
That
and
makes sense.
then air is flowers.
That really makes sense.
I love that. So that makes sense why like the planet and the earth or like the astrological coordination and the element don't necessarily line up because you can have like within vegetables there are more like fiery vegetables and more like like fire is
Right.
herbs, but a pepper is pepper
Is
an
a
herb or a
fruit.
fruit?
It's a fruit because it has
Interesting.
seeds on the inside.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but it's listed under
And
the fire
flowers?
herbs. But it's chili. It's
Well,
chili. It's not just pepper, it's chili specifically, which is like a
well,
spice.
it's a spice, but it's still a fruit, isn't it?
Yeah, it
Because it
all
has
feels
seeds in it.
very arbitrary.
Yeah.
A
I
lot of
mean,
the decisions in this deck feel arbitrary, which is interesting. Okay, you want to
whatever
see
works.
lemon?
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab like a flower as well, I think. That's a
So
fun
far, I feel like this is like
vegetable.
75% there.
Yes, I would agree.
It's
Exactly. It's what I mean about like it feels like there's so much that I like about this deck, which is why I still have it. It's why I haven't given it away. It's why I still use it. But there's just little things here and there where I'm like, not quite. Okay,
okay.
so I have gathered some cards for us to discuss. So I found the lemon one for you, and it says cleansing, and then under it says lemon, and then in parentheses it says citrus X limon.
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 What are those little
So it has
symbols
the
on the?
Gemini symbol, right? That's what that is.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then it's a fruit, so it's got the water element. And then it has
Okay.
like a moon doodle, like a crescent moon.
It's very cute.
It is. And then I think this is candles, like spell candles.
That's a really interesting. So the first one is there's four candles, but the first one on the left is like a kind of fleshed out like white candle, and then the three next to it look more like pens.
Yeah, or like the
Like it's all
silhouette of the
silhouette.
candle. Yeah.
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 That's a
And
little
then
confusing
the
to me,
drawing is
but
like a branch. It's got three lemons on it. With all the like leaves and stuff.
hmm.
And it's cleansing. And so if you look in the booklet, um, like I just feel like this is not her strong suit. So the end of one phase and the beginning of another is indicated and brought forward by lemons. A change of environment or situation and in your way of thinking is needed and will help you proceed. I'm like, that's great. How is that cleansing?
I I can see it much more than the banana. I'll give her
Okay, I'll give her that. True. I mean, to me,
because
it's like, okay, this is change. This is transition. This is not cleansing.
I mean we talked a lot about we talked about it a little bit during Ostara of the kind of spring cleaning. It is
Yeah.
more of a transition.
And that does, it is, she goes on to say, like, sell or get rid of things that no longer need, that you no longer need. Old habits need to die. Now is a great time to do it and have it done for good. So it is like releasing old things, but to me, that's not like cleansing, to me is a very different energy.
Yeah, it's so close. It's really close.
Yeah. I do like the spell she offers.
Okay.
Squeeze lemon, the juice of a lemon and slice up the remains. Add to a container along with a tablespoon of bicarbonate of soda and 4 cups of hot water. Mix well and decant into a spray bottle. Spritz over your magical tools and areas. You may need to test on a patch first. Yeah.
I like that actually.
Making like a
It's not even
magical cleansing wash.
it doesn't even feel like a spell though. It feels just like a magical tool.
Yeah, that's very kitchen witchy.
Kitchen, yeah. Yeah.
Spell is kind of a vague umbrella term.
Yes, it feels less of like a magical ritual than a magical tool
Yeah,
or a
yeah, like
potion.
creating. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I like it.
Yeah. And
I give it
then
a like a B.
a B, yeah. Maybe this whole deck I would give like a B.
I would give,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like it passes, but it's not like gonna be on the top in the top percentile.
I can see how yeah, you use it very specifically for things.
Exactly,
Like you have to find your own
exactly.
use for it.
So I don't want to read the booklet for all of these, but I wanted to show you some others as well because I think this does a good job of showing both like the ones that make a lot of sense to me and the ones that feel just buck wild. So for the daffodil, we have hope, and that makes so much sense to me.
That makes a lot of
It's
sense.
like one of the
Oh,
first plants of spring. It is like sunny and hopeful and like, you know, new life.
yeah. Yeah. First signs of spring.
So what plant would you think might be love?
Well, I was gonna say rose, but
You don't think it's the tomato?
um, I
Maybe?
mean, don't tomato. I mean, this is me getting a little more sciencey, but I think that tomatoes have lycopenes in them, and those are
Okay.
really good for male health.
Okay. So like an
That's the only.
aphrodisiac?
I think it could be. I mean, they're red.
Yeah, they're
They're kind of
juicy.
juicy. Um,
Some
you know, it reminds me of Italy, and Italy's a very romantic country. I'm really trying here.
You are, you are. You know, and it makes sense to me that like the chili would be stimulation, right? Like
Oh, 100%.
activation, go,
Yeah.
yeah. And then like some of them, these ones to me, I feel like are just also kind of random. We have chives for divination,
Huh?
which like I just don't know, I don't know why.
Man, I have some chives in the backyard in the garden right now, so
Yeah,
I'm about
I
to divine
wish,
some
I
stuff.
think if I could give one shift to this. Like my biggest shift would be somewhere where it explains why. Like, why did you associate this plant with this thing? Just like
We
one
need
sentence of
answers.
like, historically, chives were used in this, or like, you know, tomatoes have this element to them, or whatever. Like, it just says you are the master of your own free will, aligned with the divine, and at present, energies are strong deep within you to help change your destiny and meet challenges powerfully. That's not even what divination is.
Well, it really gives like lox, bagels, and chives a new whole like kind of spin on my breakfast.
Channel your psychic powers.
While I'm having a breakfast bagel with some chives and eggs. Like, what is I'm don't want to sound like I'm just shitting on it,
I
but
know, I
it's just
know.
not making a lot of sense.
It's
If
just,
anything, divination with like sage or
yeah.
like cleansing with like like even that I'm still kind of like it's a bit of a stretch, but I think it aligns so much better than chives.
Yeah, and that's just it. It's like I will after this talk about why I still do use this deck and where I do think its power comes through, but it is not in the
Yes.
words. The words feel so random to me. And then like corn may have ritual, which would make sense to me if it
What?
was wild corn, like indigenous corn, but it's not. It's sweet corn. But it is a really
Why do
pretty
I?
drawing of a corn.
It's a gorgeous corn. That's a that's a sexy looking corn. But I feel like corn to me aligns more with like abundance or harvest
Mm-hmm.
or like
Mm-hmm.
reaping hard work because
Yeah.
that's a kind of traditional symbol of corn. It takes a really long time to grow and it's very fickle, but when you have
Yeah.
it, it's so useful.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think my overarching feeling about this, like this deck is like so let me talk a little bit about why I do like it, what I do
Okay.
get out of this deck, because we've been
Yes.
shitting on it for a little bit, which is
Yeah.
valid, but not
Yeah.
my only feeling about it.
Yeah, let's hear some optimistic parts.
Um, one thing I find that is very like spooky magical about this deck is I will often pull it when I do my monthly like tarot and tea. I'll pull like a plant to work with, and it's always in season. Whatever pops out is always in season. And so that feels
Okay.
very magical to me, where it's like, oh, in the middle of the summer we pulled like citrus, like a lime and like watermelon, and then like, like it often aligns with like the time that we're pulling it, which is really cool. And I do find that like the plants themselves, like when I'm simply asking about what plant to work with, it's super helpful. I also really like
Okay.
that it's accessible plants because a lot of the time my other herbal decks, if I do that, it'll be like some weird flower or herb that you have to go to a specialty shop for, whereas these are all just things you can find in the grocery store.
I
And so,
like that.
yeah, and I've found
Yeah.
like when I've done it for clients, I'll pull one and it'll be like I pulled corn and it was like, oh, one of her favorite recipes that was like an ancestral recipe is this like corn pudding. And so like I do
Oh,
find when it's like
cute.
the plant alone, the magic comes through.
Okay. I can see that and I really do like that aspect
Yeah.
of like you know like what you're craving or what your body might need or
Yeah.
what I love that idea too of like hey tap into this kind of like old recipe that you really love.
Exactly. Or like this
That can be
plant has magic that will support you right now, you know?
and I feel like food and plants and flowers and herbs are so like so instantly nostalgic and
Mm.
emotional.
Mm-hmm.
So like when like for example when you pulled up tomatoes, like I'm not thinking of amorous love, but I'm thinking about like love. Like my dad loves to make me like a caprese salad because he's growing tomatoes in
Yeah.
his garden right now and a little bit of like basil. So I feel like that comes from like such like a giving love that I have with my dad and I associate it with him so much. So I feel like kind
Totally.
of coming from that realm, that's really nice to hear,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, exactly. And I almost feel like, we were saying that that our kind of takeaway is that the person who created this really gets plants and maybe doesn't super get magic and isn't like
Hmm.
super tapped in. And it
Hmm.
almost feels that way sometimes where it feels like the magic is coming from like my own guides, where like I'll go to pull a card and it'll be like, ignore the words. Like I'll pull a card, it'll be like just the plant. And it's like they are
Just
using this as a form to communicate like what plants would be helpful, but I've never used the guidebook or the words because they just always feel so unrelated to what we're talking about.
I appreciate that. I really do. And that's the whole point of like tarot and oracle
Yeah.
cards is that if it doesn't resonate with you, it's not really helpful. If you find a
Yes.
way that you like or connect to this thing, then great, like
Yeah.
beautiful. But if it doesn't
Yeah.
resonate, it doesn't work.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So I think that like this deck is a cool tool because it's one of the better ones I've found that has like actual plants and foods that you have access to. And so I find it really
Mhm.
cool for like, I want to work with plants. I want to do plant magic. What should I use? This is
Mhm.
a tool for that. If you're trying to use it like as a divination oracle deck for like the meaning of the words, I have not found it works as well for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think if you had to kind of like sum up, because I feel like this is kind of intertwined in what we're talking about, is the
Yeah.
magic level and the intuitability.
The intuitability is either one out either like 2 out of 10 or 10 out of 10 because if you're intuiting what plant should I work with and the answer is onion, I pull it, it says onion, done.
An onion's an onion.
An onion's an onion. But the 2 out of 10 where it's like, oh, like what do I need to do? Like what do I need to work with right now? And it's like, let's see. Of course, this is the one I pull. Strawberries for agreement. It's like, I don't get it. Why is it agreement? What do I need to agree on?
What am I agreeing to here? I feel
So
like
I
strawberries are more associated with love for me.
right and like passion and like this like sweetness, like childlike sweetness, like
Yeah.
play. Yeah. So I would
So,
say that the intuitability depends on the way you're using it, and same with the magic level. I think they're one and the same, is that like they're really great if you're using it as a like almost more of like a just a simple like question and answer of like what plant to work with, of
mhm.
like very simple, very direct. If you're trying to do like bigger divination and bigger spreads, I wouldn't use this deck.
So it sounds like a good like supplemental
Yes,
deck
it's a
or very
great
specific.
exactly. I think it's a great deck to like add on to a reading of like, okay, now that I know what
Love
I'm
it.
working on, what plant can help me with that? Versus like a whole like I can't imagine this being anyone's like go-to deck, you know?
So just averaging out your 2 out of 10 and 10 out of 10. So it's about a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's about 6 out of 10. So
Yeah.
yeah, maybe not a B after all.
Yeah, it's a little lower than a B, but
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think overall, because like I think accounting for the design and the
Hmm.
book, which
Yeah,
it does have
that
some
brings it
pluses
up.
there.
Yeah.
It does
We
have some
didn't talk about the
pluses.
bagability, but the bagability is great. It's a very good, like, solid box that's not going to bend or break and it's not going to open without being deliberately opened. So
Yeah.
all that helps it get back up to a B.
Yeah, it seems a little like chunky though,
It is.
like
It's definitely a
width
bigger,
wise.
bigger deck. It takes up a lot of space, so it's not gonna like be something you're gonna want to carry. And also, like, it's just not a go-to deck, so why would you carry it around with you everywhere anyway?
Right. Okay.
Which also probably decreases the bagability because you're gonna need another deck in there.
Oh, I see. Okay. So this is like a conditional bag ability,
Yeah.
not as much.
You know
Okay.
what? It makes me think of like that student in class where you like want to give them a good grade because they tried their best, but this is not the class that they're like, this is not where their talents
Ah.
lie. You're like, I know they're trying, but they're really an artist, not a scientist. Like,
I totally know what you mean. It has some use to it. You could
yes.
tell that there's a lot of work put into
There's like,
this.
there's value, there's heart, there's beauty. Some of them make a lot of sense, like marigolds and positivity. So, so
Sure.
intuitive. But then some of them make no
I don't know
sense at
why there's
all.
a dream catcher on that one, but like,
Yeah, the doodles seem a little random.
yeah.
And that knocks the intuitability too, because then you get caught up in like, well, why does it have this here? Like, how do
Well, the
these things have
caduceus
to
for
do
the
with one another?
banana kind of like threw
Do
me off a little too. Like,
yeah.
what? The duality. I mean, look, here's kind of I don't know. This might be a little bit of a harsh critique,
Okay.
but it feels like some of the doodles just feel a little bit like randomized stock doodles.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. Like stock
Yeah.
imagery. Yeah.
Like, oh, this is an oracle deck, so we're gonna put a dream catcher on this one. It's like, or duality because there's two snake heads on
Mm-hmm.
this thing, and it kind of doesn't.
Yeah, they don't all like some I'm just glancing through and some of them make total sense and some of them just like,
Mhm.
what are you talking about?
This was a really interesting deck to review, I have to say.
I will agree with that. It is definitely our most, I would say, like uh
Controversial?
yeah, or like deck we're the least sold on.
Yes. I think
Yeah.
like I said before, there's so many that we were like, I love this deck. It's perfect. I love it. It's
Uh-huh.
wonderful. And this one I'm just kind of like,
I know we'll have to see when we talk about, so when I was gifted this deck, you gifted me a deck called Moonology at the same time.
yes.
And it was so funny because when I brought them home, I was like, "Oh, the moon one, like it's pretty, but it's kind of like it's very like celestial witch. I don't know that that's really me. Like I'm much more green, like plant witchy. I'm going to use this one way
Yeah.
more. And the
Yeah.
exact opposite ended up being true in that that one like every card is spot on and I use it all the time because of that. And this one's kind of like I have a very specific time and place and it kind of sits on my shelf a lot.
I think that's what's so cool about like what we do for tarot reviews as
hmm
well, because I mean, I hate to be cliche, but like don't judge a book by its cover, don't judge a deck by its
Totally.
case. But because I don't know, like I have one that we're gonna review soon too, which is the Dungeons and Dragons deck, which I was
Yeah.
so into because of the art, but I never really pull it. I hope when I played more D&D that that's something I'm gonna use, but like there's a lot of these that end up being like, oh, I thought one thing when I got it,
Yeah. And it's a
but
totally
now
different
it's
thing. Yeah.
or like I got this one and I really didn't think I would use it that much. Like the
Yeah.
Star Spinner deck. I fucking love it. It's one of
Yes.
my favorites ever. Yeah, so
Exactly.
it's very
So
cool.
this one definitely falls on the end of like when I was gifted it, I thought it was going to be like a new favorite deck, and it has not become that. I definitely
Mm,
find enough use of it that I still own it instead of giving it away or selling it. Like I
yeah, yeah.
definitely find that it's good for its one singular purpose, but that is the literal only way I use this deck.
Yeah.
Which makes me think that to end our chat, I will pull one card for you, one card for me, and one card for the reader of what plant to work with in the coming weeks.
I would love it. And we're not going to do the full description reading, I think. We're just going to do I love it. It's just pretty straightforward.
Yeah,
I
just
kind
like
of like that a lot
who is
better.
your plant ally this summer? Or I guess by the time this is coming out, yeah, it's still summer. Who is your plant ally to work with these coming weeks or months or at this time in your life? So Kaitlyn, oh, this one, yes. Kaitlyn, you're wait, which one is it? Oh, are these all three of them? One for Kaitlyn, one for me. Okay, got it. I was like, I got three cards. Does Kaitlyn get three? It's like, no, we're just giving you all of them right away.
Oh, love.
Okay, one for Kaitlyn, one for me.
Like you already told us the assignment. We did it.
Yeah, yeah. We can get an A.
Yes.
Okay, so Kaitlyn, you are to work with Rosemary.
Oh, I have that in the garden.
Oh, lovely. The word
Yeah.
associated with it is memory. Take it or leave it.
I might do that.
Okay, the food I am meant to work with. Oh my God. Okay. This does feel like the word means something. I got onion, and the word is protection, which we just talked about how I need to do some protection work.
Sarah.
Just gonna rub an onion all over my house.
I'm sure Charlie will love it. Like,
So, an
Sarah,
onion for
why does it
protection.
smell like a swamp in here? What's going on?
He's used to coming home to weird smells. I'll be
Oh,
like, don't
wait,
go in that room, a spell's in work.
can I just say I actually think that so I was telling Sarah before the podcast that I went to an acupuncture person because
Yeesh.
my back is fucked right now. And I think she gave me this like massage oil spray
Yeah?
to for a muscle relaxant. And I work in medicine, so sometimes I'm a little bit like I love alternative medicine. Don't get me wrong, I think it's great. I think sometimes like when I'm having a more serious medical thing, I'm
Yeah,
like, I don't really know about essential oils for like
totally.
with a like kind of it was a debilitating back problem for
Yeah.
like a it's still a little bit. But I used this spray and I think it has rosemary oil in it. And it's
Ah,
been helping. I swear to God, this thing has been like such a miracle cure for my back.
good.
Yeah, so
Okay, so keep working with rosemary.
yes, I will.
I will work with onion.
And our listeners should work with. Brrr.
Geranium.
Ooh, that's so
Yeah, it's
pretty.
a beautiful pink flower. It's like one of those, it's kind of like hydrangeas where it's like a lots of flowers on one. I mean,
Hmm.
it's a geranium. Uh,
And
and
they smell so good.
they do.
I love it.
And the word, take it or leave it, is healing.
It's very Mother's Day. It's giving very like,
Ooh, yes. Very sweet, very soft, very like
yeah.
gentle. So yeah, go get yourself some geraniums and
Or some geranium oil because that shit smells like so delicious. It smells
yeah.
so good.
And I will
Yeah.
say, when working, like this is what I tell my clients when we talk about working with plant allies, um, there's no one way to work with them. So,
Yeah.
you can eat the plant if it's edible, you can cook with it, you can put it in your house. So, like, you could put geraniums in a flower vase. Kaitlyn, you could hang rosemary.
Oh, yeah.
So you can have it like the actual plant in your home. You can use oils or lotions that are
Mm.
scented or made with that plant. And then if none of those are accessible to you or none of those interest you, you can also just work with the image of the plant. So if you print out an image and like meditate on the plant or like hang the image in your home, that is another way to like connect with the spirit of the plant and pull in
I
its
love
medicine.
that. I
Yeah.
love. Oh, that was all very like weirdly accurate. I see what you mean. You're like I have questions and I have doubts, but
Yes.
those pulls were very like
Good. Yeah, I know. It's a deck that thrives when put in the right situation, but it's not for every situation.
yes, just like a plant,
Just like a
just
plant.
like a.
Doo 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 doo.
I love it.
On
Can
that
I
note, yeah, go
can I
ahead.
also say I love that you're wearing a plant shirt right now and
Thank
it's very
you.
cute.
If you're watching on YouTube, I'm wearing this like it's like a full body dress that it
Oh, it's a
has,
dress.
yeah, I got it in Malaysia, and
It's
it's like hand
gorgeous.
painted. So it's like a dress that was painted with this like flower vine design.
They look like
Um,
lilies.
yeah, I love it very
They're so
much.
pretty. You look so
Thank
nice.
you. It's my little cozy house dress.
I love it. I'm wearing my cozy house dress too.
Ah, perfect. We
And
are
it has
green.
pockets.
We are green witches.
Oh, perfect. And you can be too.
And you can be too with your geraniums.
Yes.
So
And
go
Sarah with
ahead,
her onions.
and me with my onions. Just gonna like an apple. I do actually
Yes.
like eating raw onions like a weirdo. Not like a
You're a
whole
weirdo.
onion, but when I'm chopping onions, I'll like snag a piece.
I heard, I don't know if this is real, but I heard that if you plug your nose and you bite into a potato, an apple, and an onion, that they have a very, very similar taste and consistency.
Wow, that it's like the smell that sets them apart. I mean, they're all
Yes.
starchy. I believe that.
Yeah, they're all starchy and a little sweet.
Okay. So put geraniums in a vase and get an apple, a
Yes.
potato, and an onion and take a bite.
Let me know if that actually works because I've only just heard it. And I will be working with rosemary.
Cool. I'll be working with onions. Please give us a follow wherever you're listening if you don't already. A 5-star review would be incredibly helpful. Share this with someone who needs more geraniums in their life.
Yeah.
And as is above,
So is below.
as is within.
So is without.
Thank you.
I love you
And
and
blessed
blessed
be.
be. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.